For the gross domestic product and overall economy of a state to flourish, there's the need to create a conducive and viable business environment. The Lagos State Governor outlined the support systems of sustainable policies, programs and resources tailored towards growing a vibrant economy and improving this living standard of Lagosians. Welcome to the Governor This Week. I am Lekan, Onabanjo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu received the Senate Committee on Works in Lagos to inspect the ongoing federal government road projects in the state as part of their oversight functions. The governor, who appreciated the committee's visit led by its chairman Mohammed Aliro, said his government will continue to collaborate with federal government agencies to bring the true dividends of democracy to residents.
Your Excellency, we are here to inspect all the ongoing federal government road projects in Lagos State. And in particular, we are here to inspect the ongoing rehabilitation and reconstruction of Lagos-Ibadan dual carriageway. We are also going to inspect Lagos-Badagry Expressway, which is a gateway to the entire West Africa. We have already inspected the Apapa-Oshodi-Orishoki Expressway, which is being funded through the tax credit system. Equally important is the Ekorodu-Shagamu Expressway. There are other numerous small projects that are going on in Lagos State. But essentially, these four are the ones that attracted our attention. We have allocated funds in 2018 and 2019, and we come to see the progress being made so that when we go back, we will know how to monitor and ensure that the work is completed in time. In particular, Your Excellency, the Lagos-Ibadan dual carriageway is very important to us because this is one project the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria want to hand over this year, latest next year.
First is really to thank Mr. President. Is to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for giving the support at the budgetary level through the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing, a former governor in Lagos State himself, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, for the support we have continued to receive, and more importantly, also through you to the President of the Senate for this very powerful oversight function and all of the support, even at the budgetary appropriation stages that you have given to infrastructure and to Lagos in particular. I want to put on record that all of you, Mr. President, the Senate President, were indeed very happy, were indeed grateful for the support you continue to give the state. But the question we need to also ask ourselves is, so Lagos has been the federal capital of this nation before he moved to Abuja. And so what it means is that Lagos inherited a lot of assets and it also inherited a lot of liability. We'll continue to manage it as we go along. There are lots and lots of federal government infrastructure that are here in Lagos that we manage, and we're happy that we are also here today to ensure and advance the management of all of this infrastructure. So we're indeed excited that at some point in time, we played a capital role in the country, but we'll continue to play a leading center for excellence, for commerce, for business in our country. It's a huge responsibility, but it's a responsibility that we're determined to continue to serve this country and to take it forward. I think the other one is also to mention what you said, which is for us to collaborate on a PPP model. And I'm glad to tell you, sir, and your committee members, distinguished senators, that we've taken the lead. We have actually advertised the 4th mainland bridge. You know, so federal government has built the Eko Bridge, they've built Qatar Bridge, they've been magnanimous, they've also built the 3rd mainland bridge for us. But we have taken our destiny to our hand. We've advertised on a PPP model to do the 4th mainland bridge. And interestingly, it's supposed to be like a ring road. It's supposed to be a 37-kilometer bridge and superhighway road and bridge construction. So we're supposed to start from in Lekki to go to Ikorodu, cross the water, and eventually at a future date, get onto Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. So it's a 37-kilometer road, and we've gotten expression of interest by both local and international companies, over 30-something of them. Right, they are now at various levels of procurement where they're going to request for proposals, and we're hoping that the best company that shows time, that shows competence, that shows capability, and will give us value will be the one, you know, that will carry the day at the end of the day. So that's we've started. You know, it's I don't want to estimate, but it's a lot of money to do that. It's 37 kilometers of road.
The present administration in Lagos State will continue to encourage public servants, regardless of their position and rank, to contribute their innovative and creative ideas to the development of the state's workforce. The state governor affirmed this during an event tagged Shift, of which S stands for simple, H for high impact, I for interactive, F for focused, and T for transformational ideas. The governor said, "What is key to the realization of all these is the provision of an enabling environment, and his administration is looking inwards this time to bring things to bed."
With even the Office of Creativity and Innovation, they will be using the Shift adaptive strategy to launch pad and do a lot of creative things. And I want to say to you that I believe that you're on the right track. I believe that Estab also is on the right track. The only other thing that Temitope did not say was 13 years ago when she came in, I was actually privileged to be the one to recruit her. I actually brought her into the service then. So also at that time, we set up an office called the PPP office, which was an office for the public-private partnership. And all of them were earning salary that was bigger than the salary of permanent secretary and even the governor at some point in time. So it wasn't so difficult for us to get them in. Like she said, they were schooled abroad and also. But the formative at that stage was that we needed to headhunt people who can stand toe-to-toe with people from the private sector. Because we knew that the transactions they will be getting into were transactions in which whatever they commit the state government to were the things that we're going to be living with. So we didn't want them to have any inferiority complex whatsoever, whoever they're negotiating with, right? And the PPP office, we dare say, had one of the very, very best of profiles that time. Our public service should be a public service where it is performance-based. And I cannot agree less with her. And I'm going to say something here this afternoon. For her to be certain that our dream about ensuring that it's performance-based is not 2-3 years down the line. It's starting from today. So there was an exercise that we used to have. And I'm sure some people are not going to like me for this. There's some exercise that we used to have. We're going to start introducing that exercise right from today. For you to become a permanent secretary, you will start conducting an examination and an interview process for you to be so appointed as a permanent secretary. And I think it's only when we use the permanent secretary as a testimonial, as an example, then everybody will know that in truth it is performance-based. It is really not you knowing person or not knowing somebody. It is really based on your performance. Do I get a clap for that? It was something that we started, we stopped it, we need to go back to it. We need to go back to it and we need to start it. If all of us really believe that the future is with the young population, the future, if you check the demography of Nigeria, if you check the demography of Lagos, it goes to show that the youth are the ones that are in the beacon today. And so we're going to use Sheung as an example, just to demonstrate that, in fact, there's a hope for our future and for our youth. So Sheung is a level 8 officer. and it's been on level 8 for the past 3.5 years or something. So it's actually due for promotion maybe later in the year to level 9. But because Seun has shown the level of demonstration, Seun will earn a double promotion to level 10 this year. So I have the permission of the Chairman Civil Service Commission, so she's here, so she can hear it, and the head of service is here. So we have not done anything undone before. It's because when we see outstanding performance, when we see intelligence at the highest level, we don't need to wait to recommend and commend them. We need to commend and recommend them instantly. So Seun will be a testimonial for others to follow. Thank you very much, and we just want to continue. You can see that shift, adaptive, disruptive tendency is working, and it has started. What I'm going to leave you with is to say this. Don't wait believing that they are not watching you. Don't wait believing that it's only when your boss comes in that you pretend that you're working. Let your work speak for you. Let it speak far ahead of you. Let us see your work and ask, who is this person? Who is this officer that has demonstrated this high level of professionalism? Let your work speak for you. Let it demonstrate that you have the capacity and you have the capability to be outstanding even in the public service. And like what you said, we want to look for a lot of mentors, not tormentors. Be a mentor in your office, not a tormentor. Be a mentor to the young people coming behind you, not an oppressor.
The Lagos State government has promised to continue to give financial and other forms of support to the Lagos Public Interest Law Partnership in order to continue to offer pro bono judicial service to indigent Lagosians who desire fair legal representation. Governor Sanwo-Olu made the pledge when a 4-man team from the Board of Trustees of the organization, led by Senator Daisy Danjuma, paid a courtesy visit on him at the Lagos House, Ikeja. The team leader appreciated the government for continued support in the area of service digitization.
The goal of the LP is to expand access to justice while reducing the burden on government-funded agencies. Lagos State has always funded most of our activities as well. You know, the great support you've given us in the past. Other companies have tried to chip in little in the past, but we still rely much on Lagos State because it's a whole platform. It's the baby of Lagos State. They started it, and we want to replicate it in other states. But Lagos State is pioneer in every good thing around. So we'll be very delighted in the continuous support which you've rendered to LP, and we'll hope the next pro bono week that you'll be able to attend, which usually boosts this support, and know that people know that we are functional.
The indigent citizens, we have a huge population, and we have people who truly, really deserve the service, who would want fair representation of whatever matter that might come up, but because of where they find themselves, their status, and also they might not be able to afford, or they might not be able to have the opportunity to be heard, to be listened to. And you know all of the agencies government has set up can still not even meet up with those requirements. And since this is also the largest congregation of the law firms and legal practitioners, it just speaks to the fact that we can take up that opportunity. We will continue to support the partnership. We will continue to collaborate with you in whatever form, be it financial, be it resource that is required. We will continue to do it. And when you call upon me personally, I'll make myself available, right? And because, you know, the people out there who you are serving, who your members, people in your partnership are serving, honestly are appreciative of it. They truly, really are thankful because we're making life bearable for people. You know, disputes that can be resolved, you know, issues that your members, you know, or identify partners, you know, can go and represent them on pro bono basis, meaning that they do not need to worry about the legal cost of it, right? It's really, really very commendable, and it's something that other professionals, lawyers, I would plead that they join, you know, because our people deserve all of the very best, you know, and also to say that to also enjoy another part of the country as well, right? And that's really why we're in government, to be able to provide that opportunity for our people, for people that do not have voice, to be heard, to be listened to, and to be sure that at least they will have a fair representation, you know, when the need arises.
The ongoing infrastructural development program of the Lagos State government is a deliberate effort to make the state attractive to diasporan investment. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu disclosed this while receiving the mayor of Brampton City in Ontario, Canada, Patrick Brown, who led a delegation to the State House in Alausa on a courtesy visit. Mayor Brown welcomed the Lagos State governor's invitation for collaborations in various areas, including education, ICT, agriculture, and cybersecurity.
We're here looking at opportunities to work closer together. Brampton is now the Centre for Cybersecurity in Canada. We have a great partnership with the Government of Canada, Rogers and RBC, and I know Nigeria is a growing tech centre as well. I know the Governor has been very supportive of the tech sector, and we think there is synergies there. I have to commend the Governor. I know he's been a voice for gender parity in Canada. Takes that very seriously. Our Prime Minister has the first gender parity cabinet, and I know the Governor has been outspoken in terms of opportunities for all of our citizens, and the fact that there are similar values, similar aspirations, makes it a natural environment for collaboration. And so we come here excited. Unfortunately, we're only here for 4 days, but this is just the start of what we hope to be an enthusiastic friendship. There may be geographic distance, but right now in a world where borders mean less, you know, if you have a cybersecurity company in Lagos and a cybersecurity company in Brampton that are collaborating, distance doesn't matter because technology has changed that challenge. And so we had a great discussion with the Governor, and we're really looking forward to the ongoing work and the ongoing opportunities for businesses in Brampton and businesses in Lagos where we can find commonality.
There's a huge amount of population, right, and everybody is doing their own thing, and it comes with its own challenges. It comes with its opportunities, you know, and we're resolving some of the challenges. But in all of it, you know, is to see how do we make the place livable, how do we ensure that we keep a sustainable environment, and how do we continue to make sure that it becomes a continuous destination for business, you know, a continuous destination for our economy to continue to grow, and that's why we're here. Like I did mention to you, you've been in government a year and a half. We've been in government 260 days, so we're counting as well, right? And but what we've talked about and what we certainly can do with the two communities are great. Lagos is also the tech hub for the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, right? The opportunities are there; they're growing. Like I did mention to you just yesterday, you know, we passed at the cabinet meeting, you know, what we call a metropolitan fiber. A fiber growth initiative, which is to build 3,000 kilometers of fiber, you know, all around the city, right, and taking it some to the last mile, right, and build capabilities even on that. So meaning that we're building a city of the future, you know, driven by technology, right? So you cannot get a better space, than Lagos. And because we know that technology could also be an opportunity where we leapfrog and catch up with other better developed nations, we certainly are not cutting corners on that. And we're bringing all of the best names to ensure that the current market, the players in the market trust us, they believe us, and they see that growth path with us. And so we're about ensuring that conversation start, and we're building a smart city model on top of it, where we can have high definition cameras, where we can monitor traffic management, where we can monitor security issues, where we can ensure that also people have access in our schools, in our hospitals, for tourism. We can pretty much use it as an enabler, to ensure that we'll have a growth and a sustainable city, given the size that we have.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commissioned a primary health care, blocks of classrooms with ultra-modern facilities, and 11 roads at Bariga Local Council Development Area of Lagos State. The governor said the projects, which were funded by the local council, is a good example of good partnership and complementary efforts which bring the real dividends of democracy to residents.
It is my singular honor to have commissioned here this morning the CMS Primary Health Facility, which is an A-rated PHC, which will be a 24/7 PHC. We're indeed happy that we've brought that to Bariga. It's also my pleasure that we have commissioned today at the Bagada Junior Girls Secondary School. We have commissioned an assembly hall for the girls. We have commissioned 24 toilets for the school. We have commissioned 12 classrooms for the school. We have commissioned 4 buses for the students in the local government. And we have also commissioned a recreational arena for the school. Now at this venue, it is my great honor that we are commissioning 11 road projects together. We are commissioning Adetoke Street, we are commissioning Community Street, we are commissioning Emmanuel Street, we are commissioning Ewena Street, we are commissioning Onabanjo Street. We have also finished Egberongbe Street. We have also finished Olusegun Land. We have also finished Thomas Drive. We have also finished Adeyinka Street. We have also finished Famusa Street. We have also finished J. Jola Osho Street. I think it's an honor and a privilege that we stand here to commend your local government chairman. As a government, and just to demonstrate our commitment that we're happy with what we have seen. Very, very, very soon, we shall start the immediate rehabilitation from the gate of Unilag from St. Finbar's Road to Jagumolu Street to Dia Street, and we'll take it to Sholui Street. We will ensure that we complement this extensive road right from St. Finbar's Road. We are going to ensure that we retile the entire stretch from St. Finbar's to Jagumolu to Dia to Sholui that gets to the Deeper Life Church. All of the roads will start the rehabilitation immediately. And also to tell you that we're happy with what we've seen today. We'll also be appointing a special advisor to the governor from the Bariga LCDA to support our government. What we have seen here today is to give you my own Valentine gift, which is what I've said, and to say that other local government chairmen should come and emulate what we have seen in Bariga. Bariga has been transformed. We can see the transformation around here, and I want to commit it to the good use of the entire citizens of Bariga and its environs.
The Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration is determined to deliver the smart city project every Lagosian so desires, seeking collaborative efforts through partnership deals with local and foreign partners will surely catalyze the birth of the theme's agenda in this regard. And that's exactly what the governor of Lagos State is doing. And that's it on the governor this week. But then you can continue with conversations of the governor's activities on all the social media platforms showing on your screen. Until next week, I am Lekan.